Good evening, everybody. It is your boy, Joel Cupcake, and I am here right now with Collin Reagan from Fubar in St. Louis, Missouri. And we are here for a very special breaking edition of At Joel Cupcake Unedited. Now, Collin, I understand that as recently as last week on Facebook, you got into an argument with John Matos of the band Abiotic. He posted a status going, "Nice. We can all go play Fubar and get robbed while we get sick." And this was in response to Missouri allowing people to go to concerts as early as this week. Correct?
Correct. Yeah, probably about a week or two ago, somewhere in there. All tends to blend.
How do you feel about this comment that they're just going to go get robbed right off the bat at Fubar as well as get sick there?
Man, like, okay, as a guy who likes to go and, meme on stuff, I get it, but then at the same time, people don't realize, like, we are people who, I work a day job. I've been doing this shit 8 years, work a day job. I mean, not to be like, oh, humble brag, but it's like, I kind of do this out of the fact that I do love doing it. Like, if this was just a little side hobby, I think I would have quit by now. But
and that's why I wanted you on the show, Collin, as a fellow promoter occasionally, obviously not right fucking now.
Yeah.
I wanted you to be able to speak your mind and, just go swing for the fences and respond to some of these harsh critics about St. Louis.
Yeah, I mean, just to sum it up, I'm like, I don't even hate him that much. Honestly, I find there's a lot of fun and just like, I like to just be an asshole online sometimes because, you're not supposed to, but man, when you do, it's fun. It's always fun. So I don't even care that much, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I know we're the venue in town who is booking a lot of the bands the other venues wouldn't touch. We're the most DIY, like we're the place that bands get their start at and still a place where bands, hit their peak at the same time. So it's like, I don't know. It's like, I just feel like Fubar has always been a very like DIY for the band's venue and just seeing all those jokes, yeah, they're good and fun, but like at the end of the day, I hear about it every other band I book about, oh, bands get robbed here. Like, 5 years, it's like in hearing that every show when you book 5 to 10 shows a month, it gets annoying. But so
I can imagine.
And it's like, and at the end of the day, it's like, this is people's livelihood. Like, it's like, no one in that venue is rich. Like, I work a day job. Most of the staff work other jobs. The owner.
Yeah.
He's married, so thankfully he has a wife that can kind of help out with like everything. But so I don't know. It's just like at the end of the day, it's like you are also attacking people who are in the same position as the bands, where it's like we all struggle. No one's fucking banking on this shit. Most of the people I deal with aren't making $100,000 a year playing music. They're paying their bills, renting an apartment or something. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I did a little bit of research here on the side and I went all the way back to, what is this, 2014?
Yep.
Yeah. May 15th, 2014, Rivers of Nile. I love that band. I didn't know were they actually robbed at Fubar?
Yes. I mean, this was a while ago and it wasn't even my show, but I could be wrong. Pretty sure it was them opening for Whitechapel on tour. And if my memory serves me correct, I believe that their van, one of their doors were unlocked, and that's how they got broken into. But the one thing the Rivers Nile band who recently blew up, I've had booked them twice since they were robbed. Both times they were very like, hey, you know what? It happened. You were, they were the first to experience it. So they obviously knew we stepped our shit up to try helping preventing it. But they also were like a little more cautious, but they also weren't like, they weren't annoying. Like they were just like, it happened. We know that was just a shitty thing. And, had good shows both times. And especially this last time, since that last album really blew them up. They went from doing 30 people to, they just did 200 people headlining.
Yeah, they did. I know that band's been making quite the steam in the music industry. You're correct there.
And especially with
that's interesting. So all their stuff was stolen. Even here in the press release, it says, "We got hit hard tonight. Somebody punched the lock on our van in St. Louis and stole a ton of our belongings."
It could have been that, but like either way, I just know it's like every time we worked with them, they don't make it a thing, and it's all good. Like I just hate that like bands who've never experienced anything like that, I have to deal with more shit from them than like a band who, I mean, Rivers Nile could be bitchy about getting booked at Fubar if they wanted to, and I'd understand. Like, if I got robbed at a venue, I wouldn't be so super happy about coming back. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. Respect to that band, all nice guys, and glad that they're making big steps forward as of late.
Oh man. Okay. Well, what about here, Colin? And I have another article from August 2014. Apparently, the Florida downtempo band Traders. They got this is the infamous joke. This is how I found out that
I mean,
bands got robbed in St. Louis. You know what I mean? Hold on. Let me read their quote to you, Colin, before you get all hyphy.
Yep.
Our van was just broken into at Fubar in St. Louis after we were promised security for our van by the promoter, which I'm assuming was you.
Yep.
Lost a ton of personals and instruments. Not sure if we can finish this tour. If anyone could help us out, it would mean the world to us. Thank you all. And then they provide their PayPal information. So they're claiming that you promised additional security, Colin?
Okay. Now this is definitely the event that was the big. This is the reason why.
This is when their PlayStation got stolen, right?
Yes. So,
okay. Yes.
All right.
Even I know about this.
Without name dropping, agents and people that we are friends with, let's just say maybe something got misconstrued in the communication line in general. Regarding the the secure parking. Because here's what happened. Now I will just hit the story from front to start, no stopping, because it's kind of lengthy and there's a lot of layers to it. So Traders is their first tour, or like their first like actual tour that was like more than like a week. Like, so this band, people like to rip on them for having the Mercedes Sprinter with their logo on it, saying that's like ass and get robbed. I'm not even go for that. I have so many other things I can attack that's the lowest on the list. So, they were approximately 3 hours late to load in. So they showed up around 7 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
And then, so we had a spot reserved right by the front door since Fubar street parking, our front door.
I have been there, I remember.
But there is an independent lot owned by some random guy right across the street, which is sometimes open. It was not open, as in there's no attendant there to watch cars and stuff. But they insisted that they would park there anyway because they didn't want to have to parallel park their Sprinter and trailer. Kind of understandable, but like that's where the rest of the night comes into play. Because keep in mind, these guys, 4 or 5 band members, they had a TM, a merch person, and then at least one other friend who was just riding back from the tour or riding to the start of the tour or something. Like they had like an extra guy. So 8 people deep. They claim that they would just make sure to keep an eye on stuff because this was right after all the Mike Brown stuff happened. And so, St. Louis was pretty hot around then. And
yes.
So that was a concern. And I don't know, it seemed like we had a pretty mutual, like, if your stuff's right in front of the front door, the door guy can see your van at all times. But they decided like, oh no, we'll park here. So anyway, the night goes on, all the bands play, they play. Then all of a sudden they pull up their Sprinter in front of the door to load out, and I just see the windows shattered, and they got hit in the parking lot, even despite me and multiple staff members telling them, please move in front of the door so we can help watch your stuff, because we're not responsible to hire someone to watch your stuff at a random parking lot. That's not our deal, and especially when you're at that time a really small band. And so they were very upset, as I would be if I got robbed.
I can completely understand getting all your valuables stolen on tour, including your PlayStation.
Here's the thing. If they didn't go and spread the rumor that it's all an inside job by the staff of Fubar, since they are the ones who did that, I have no problem just calling them. I'll claim it how it is. Steven, the drummer, he was pretty cool about it. He wasn't really too mad. Alex Kendrick, who I'm friends with now, was their tour manager / front of house. He was with them, got robbed. We are now friends. We talk a lot, and that's
interesting.
That's a thing. their vocalist Tyler, there's the well-known rumor that he cried in the streets about his PlayStation 3, and me and a couple other witnesses can definitely confirm that was a
Oh my
real
goodness.
thing. Physical tears and crying about a PS3.
Oh my. Well, I'm
But
not going to comment on that because getting robbed definitely sucks. But that's a whole nother side of the story that's definitely not in any of these articles I've seen.
Yeah, the thing is, if they didn't come out a couple months later saying it's an inside job spreading that rumor, it's like I wouldn't have the beef that I do with them. But it's like that was such an attack that did ruin our livelihood, and that took years of dealing with it and just rebuilding. It's like that was such a devastating blow.
Heated. That's why you get so heated when people say that, and that's why you wanted to come on the show.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like it's like this shit's always an uphill battle, regardless being an independent person in the music industry. Yeah. But having stuff like that it's like, all right, it's a it was definitely a citywide problem. It's like it's annoying when it affects us and people claim that it's us doing it for some. It's just like that's bullshit. Like if that wasn't a rumor, I would probably be 70% less mad about everything about it, because even though I'm not the owner and technically I am not employed by the venue, like I am an independent promoter through the venue. They're just the best venue to book at, and the owner's great and helped me out throughout all the year. Like, I don't know. It's like, but still I get really like people, at least in our scene of things, see me as the face of that place. Like,
I understand. Yeah.
Like more of like they'll link that to me and then to Fubar, which is annoying that like I get caught in the like I don't know. It's just frustrating that it's like, man, it sucks. We had people outside watching vans all the time and stuff like that. It was a big problem, but hey, they caught these were professional criminals. They caught a ring of them. It hasn't really been a thing since, and I don't know. We can look at other cities in California and Texas that have been just as hot as St. Louis ever was, but no one's going to talk about that one ever.
Well, I have another article here. I believe he's like a hip hop guy or something like that named Spose.
Yeah, I think he's like hip hop rap. Yeah,
he was his trailer and van were robbed while he was at Pappy's Smokehouse in St. Louis. So people are getting robbed outside of the venue. And
here's the thing: most of the robberies
were not
most of the venues were not even most of the robberies weren't even at the venue or even like on the streets close to it. Like that. Okay, Pappy's is down the block. Like it's walking distance from there, but it's like that's not like they weren't. And plus, Spose wasn't even playing Fubar. He was playing Firebird. So, but it's like at the same time, people love to rip on Fubar.
So lumped in with all this hate you guys get, right?
Well, St. Louis, Missouri quickly became Fubar, Missouri anytime a band was robbed in St. Louis. That everyone like
just assumed it was Fubar.
Yeah, even if they were just driving through town to get to another city and stopping and got robbed, we would still get shit on in the comments from everywhere. And it's just like, I don't know. It's like, thankfully, I mean, we have the new venue opening up, Red Flag, which is going to be incredible, but nothing I can say now besides what we've posted, but it's like Fubar is reopening in an aspect. So at least
so you're going to get ready for more of these comments.
Hey, I'm ready. I love going for it. It's fun.
I know
it's fun because
reporter is not easy, and it's very it's a very thankless job is what I like to tell people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, I mean, I even have another article here just from a Google search, you know what I mean? From Kingdom of Giants in 2015. Well, fam, St. Louis got the best of us no matter how hard we tried.
Okay.
2 laptops, 2 cameras, passports, and the whole 9 yards. Thanks to the people at Steak and Shake for doing what they can to help us out in this unfortunate situation. Again, sounds like a band got robbed again in St. Louis, but not at Fubar.
Correct. Yeah, but they played Fubar that night, and everyone at the venue, we always tell bands, hey, before you all get out and eat somewhere like Steak and Shake or McDonald's or whatever, like if you're all gonna get out of van, be 45 minutes, an hour outside the city. That's it. Because here's the thing, we think bands were getting followed. That's the thing. Like we had a bunch of theories. The people who did it were definitely more professional than people think. because most of them were like popping out locks and not smashing windows, and that's a little more of a professional job.
That's unfortunately what happens a lot to a lot of bands that play in Oakland and San Francisco as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, yeah, and so King of the Giants, you know, got robbed, and they were on Fox News the next day, and then still kind of like past, like, not directly called out Fubar, but like kind of like, well, we played Fubar, and they said drive up the highway a few miles, we'd be fine. And I said drive 45 minutes to an hour. That Steak and Shake's like 3-4 miles up the highway. Like, that's still the city. It's still the fucking city. You like, and so yeah, you know, whatever, that's fine. But then once they were opening on a Born of Osiris tour at another venue, keep in mind they played Firebird, which is another 400 cap venue. Well, it was another 400 cap venue in town, and so they opened up, like they did a headliner there, did okay, and they're since they got robbed, and then they played. They were opening for Born of Osiris at the Ready Room, which was an 800 cap, 800 cap, something like that, and when they were on stage, they go, "Hey, thanks for." They said something along the lines like, "Hey, thanks for the love, St. Louis. Last time we played here, we were at Fubar and we got robbed." And my thing was, you weren't robbed at Fubar. You're right, like, yeah, on stage in front of the crowd. Our boy EJ was right next to me. He saw me get red hot mad. Like, he had to calm me down. Like, he like immediately like went to the bar to grab me a drink because he just saw that switch turn in me, because I was like, that is such, if they did that and were robbed at Fubar, I probably wouldn't have gotten so mad. But I was like, you were, I don't know. So, you know, they wouldn't just throw us under the bus in front of a crowd of people at another local venue when the last time they played town wasn't even at Fubar, and they weren't even robbed at Fubar. There's a couple lies there. So anyway.
So what you're saying is a lot of this, because as I already admitted, you know, this happens in other scenes. You know it, I know it, most bands know it. They're, you know, and I mean, most of these articles and references I'm finding all happened, you know, what, in 2014 and 15.
Yeah, as far as like robberies,
which is around all the stuff that happened, like that's all within a year of all that, the Ferguson incidents, right?
Yep. And as far as bands who were robbed, like at around the premises of Fubar, like, you know, you're parked in the street in front of the venue, like stuff that is related to us. I think the last robbery, it was 2015 at the venue. I can't speak for the city itself. The city, I can't tell you the exact date, but that probably started to actually die like 2017, 2018. But still, like, we stepped up our shit as much as we could and did what we could on our end, because
that's what I was going to ask, is what are you guys doing to combat more as much of this as you can? Because I know as a promoter myself in Oakland, you know, we call the cops and say a van got robbed, and I mean, they don't even show up sometimes because
same thing here.
They know the shit's gone. It's just nope.
Yep, they'll take the report and nothing will ever be done about it. But you know, we would just make sure, like, for a few years, we had someone whose job was dedicated solely to standing outside and watching the vans. That's like the only job they did, you know. And as things eased up, we kind of made it to where we made sure that there's someone out there at most times. But like, you know, when there's a crowd of 200 people who are all outside smoking cigarettes and your vans and stuff are all right there, I mean, the fans aren't the ones robbing you. So, I mean, they help keep an eye too, thankfully, at least with street parking, as much as it sucks sometimes. That aspect of like fans can help watch it too is great, because obviously they don't want to see the bands they paid money for to get robbed. No one's there to see that happen. So
that, you know, you're not wrong, Colin. That's a very good point.
And but yeah, so back to the Kingdom of Giants thing. Yeah, so I made a snarky Facebook post tagging the band, because that's the least I can fucking do. I'm not a total pussy. Still a pussy, but a little, not a total one. And I said something like, "Hey, at Kingdom of Giants, thanks for throwing the venues, help support your band, since you were worth less than $100 throughout the years. The second you get on a big tour, you go shit on us." I was like, looking forward to never working with you guys again. And then they commented, and then after the show, they like all five of them like tried to gang up on me and shit. And I was like, here's the thing, I know all the people at the venue. It's like, if those guys hit me once, they would have been taken down by 4 security guards, I'm sure. Like, it's like, so I was just like, okay, do it. Like, how? Oh yeah, 5 people against one real tough guys, because I posted. And they just claim they never said that when EJ, who's the head tour manager of the tour, knows what they said.
Oh.
So there's a character witness, the guy who handles their money, who pays out them every night. He heard it, and it's like, it'd be fine if they were just like, hey, you know, like, if the vocalist Dana was just like, hey, I fucked up saying that, or something. Like, hey, I misused words. Like, I get it. You're on stage. Like, you don't totally think. But, you know, the fact that they doubled down on their claims after I called them out was just the thing that pissed me off. So, you know,
I'd be pretty upset about that. You know, defending my local area, sometimes, you know, you get a little hyphy. It's what happens.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, as I said, I work a day job. It's like, I've definitely there's been some money spent into building my career as a promoter, where it's like finally at the point where I can, you know, help pay some bills with it at the same time. But it's like, I mean, you know what my year last year was as far as finances go, pretty devastating. Yeah. So I don't know. It's just like all annoying when it's like, man, I help a lot of bands play here that no one else would answer the emails for, because no one wants to do the grind of finding these locals and convincing them to find.
No, I mean, I even have some smaller bands that I manage that you've always done your best to help them out.
Yeah,
it's true.
And, yeah,
I can't argue with you on that.
Yeah, it's like I've been doing this 7-8 years, and it's like I'm still the newest promoter in town for the most, like who does like tour packages. There's a couple of people who like do local shows and maybe like their buddies band from Chicago and stuff like that. But like as far as like active promoter, it's like I'm still lowest on the food chain, newest, and so it's like I don't know. It's like just realize that like if I stopped or if you ran my name or the venue's name in the ground, you would miss a big crucial part in tour routing because we're direct center of the country.
I mean, you're not wrong.
We're good for.
I mean, I get it. You are amped up. I mean, what do you like? Give me your your final thoughts, man. Like, give me like what do you want the fucking people to hear? Agents, people attending, girls on the internet, bands. What do you want to fucking say to them? Just say it right now, Collin.
I guess I would say I can speak on someone who's played at Fubar or booked there for 10 plus years now. Everyone there does it for, as cheesy as it sounds, the love of music. They like doing it. No one's making bank. Like, no one's living a luxurious life as far as anyone there goes. So it's like that place is operated from the love of music. And, as much as I like joking online, it came to the point where those jokes did seriously hurt the business. And I don't even care if me as a promoter got shut out. I would just hate to see the owner. Yeah. Who's been, because even before, he's owned Fubar for 12 years, but he worked at another venue for years and years before. It's like he's been in music for 25 years or some shit. I'm sure 25 plus years. So it's like, I don't know. It's like he's been the backbone of St. Louis music for a while. And I don't know. I just think like as much as the jokes are funny, I do see the enjoyment out of them. It was something that did affect us and hurt the business and made sometimes very tough and scary that like, lay it off, like stop making those quick little jabs, get your crumb of industry clout. And let's just, like you wouldn't want me to go and talk like every time your band posts a new song. If I shared talking about how much it sucked and that stuff, it's like same thing. You'd be fucking annoyed if you saw that 20 times a day on your
even maybe mad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
you have a fair point.
It's like sometimes I will be the first to admit I am very sensitive about it and I like to just go in immediately, but I do find enjoyment out of that. And I just want bands to realize that like Fubar's helped so many bands through that. Even plenty of bands started playing there and then now grew into bigger venues. So it's like, I don't know. It's like people talk about like all these like legendary venues. Like I'm trying to think of like Ace of Spades and like Holy Diver and stuff like that. And it's like, now I'm not saying Fubar's as like, prestigious as that, but it's like, as far as like in the local scene, it's like Fubar is going to be like that venue that's remembered well after it's closed down 30 years down the road. Like people talk about
regardless
venue Mississippi Nights.
Regardless of what the internet says about you. Yeah.
Yeah, which is like, I do have to give props, at least when the internet comes out. The music fans and musicians of St. Louis are always quick to defend without me even provoke. Like, they'll just see me comment on something and then the swarm comes. So I do have to think, I am thankful that at least people have my back too on it.
That's
Because
good.
power numbers.
Yep. Now, while the support of your scene and your community is important, man, it helps your drive of just working with music because it's something you love. It just helps it even more, you know?
Yeah, and especially because it's like I've seen the scene grow throughout my time promoting shows, and it's like it's nothing but up. Like, you know, as much as this Corona stuff sucks, but it's like, hey, we have a sick new venue. Fubar is going to be reopening. It's like we have good options for bands. Like, you know, once stuff gets normal, it's like, I don't know, really looking forward to it. I think bands will be impressed with either room they play because Fubar will not be the same Fubar it was when it reopens.
Okay. All right. Well, that's fair. That's what I love to hear. Where can people find information about Red Flag? Where can people contact you? And where can people find information about the new Fubar?
As far as info about Fubar and www.fubarstl.com for any show listings, which God knows when those will happen. But you know, on Facebook's usually where the main updates go as far as like when people when we start posting about what's actually happening. And then redflagstl.com for anything regarding that, and then also Red Flag on Facebook, and
there you go.
Yeah, that should be it.
All right. Well, Collin, I mean, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I was very happy when you told me you wanted to defend some of these, to defend your scene and your venue. I get it. You know what I mean? I've had a lot of places I work with come under fire because of misunderstandings or misrepresentation or what the fuck have you not. Some of it was warranted, some of it was not. But you know, we're the middleman between our scene and the bands that play and the people that attend. I get it. You know what I mean? Like we're stuck. We have 4 points of drama instead of just 2. You know what I mean? So I get it, man. So I appreciate you taking the time to about your spiel here. Everybody, thanks for watching. Been a wild episode of Agile Cupcake Unedited. Give me a follow down below. Find Collin on the internet. Follow him. His links will be in the description of the video at the end. Collin, do you have a final statement? Hit me with it.
Looking forward to getting back to music, and you know, if I've ever came at you for any jokes online, I don't take it super personally. I don't. Besides 2 bands I named, those are the 2 bands I really hold their shit accountable. Like, if we beefed about you making a quick joke, I'm not like, it's not going to be a thing where I'm going to like. I will still book your band if everything else makes sense. Like, you know, it's all out good fun, and I don't know. I just glad that there's one place that I can explain a lot of the things that we've dealt with, so people can get a inside scoop on how it's affected us. Because I don't think anything's ever really been said on a video platform or anything more than like a couple of sentences on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever reached out for you for a comment or to defend. So excellent. Well, thank you, Collin, for joining me. I appreciate it. I'm glad I could let you voice your opinions. Everyone, this has been an opinion. This has been Collin talking himself to me, myself. This has no reflections with anything with Pinup, Red Flag, or Fubar. Collin is an independent promoter, as am I an independent promoter. You know, we both work with full companies and teams of people, and these are our personal opinions on things. So don't start any bullshit. Thanks for watching another episode of Joel Cupcake Unedited. See you next time.